All right, we are back. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, good, good. All right, so we're about to jump into our presentation. It is now 9 minutes after 6. So going to allow a few seconds more for anybody else to jump in before we get started. So, as we mentioned in the previous week, and as some of you have been seeing on statuses since week, we have a special guest today. Today we have ZJ Rush with us. So he'll be our main guest today. So we'll walk through our regular presentation and then we will hand over to Rush. Anybody have any questions that they want to ask, please hold it until afterwards. And we'll do our usual thing, you see me? Fun, frolic, and information. All right, so it's now 10 minutes past. So we'll begin our presentation. All right, so wealth building was founded amidst the pandemic of 2021. The idea was that, sorry, the idea behind wealth building was really, really simple. It is that we wanted to educate persons regardless of their income level. As such, we made it our goal to empower persons through various means. One of them is our podcast that we do every Sunday. Well, this one is a special one on this Wednesday. We also have products that we offer to the general public that can assist in helping you map your finances in order to get you to where you need to go. All right, so begin. All right. All right, so here are some of our offerings. So we offer our savings plan. We offer easy to understand and impactful saving plans that help you to build wealth over time. We also offer long-term and short-term loans that can help you provide that financial boost in times of need. We also offer free credit counseling for those who need guidance where if you need help with your budget, if you need financial advice in any way, shape, or form, we also offer that. And our weekly podcast is also a part of that offering. So for today's presentation, we will be talking about unlocking the power of mainstream advertising for your business. All right. Understanding the advertising landscape, traditional channels, digital platforms, integrated approach. Traditional channels, television, radio, print, and outdoor advertising remain effective in ways to connect with your audience. Digital platforms, online advertising, social media, and targeted digital campaigns can complement your mainstream efforts. Integrated approach, combining traditional and digital strategies can create a powerful, multifaceted campaign. Identify your target audience. Demographic analysis. Understand the age, gender, income, and location of your ideal customers. Psychographic insights. Uncover your audience's interests, values, and lifestyle preferences. Competitive research. Analyze your competitors' target markets to identify underserved segments. Personalized messaging. Craft advertising content that resonates with the target audience's needs and aspirations. Crafting a compelling advertising message. First, create a unique value proposition. Clearly communicate what sets your business apart and the benefits you offer. Second, emotional connection. Tap into your audience's emotions to create a memorable and impactful message. Thirdly, consistent branding. Ensure your advertising aligns with your overall brand identity and messaging. Fourthly, call to action. Encourage your audience to take a specific action, such as visiting your website or making a purchase. Selecting the right advertising channels. TV advertising. TV advertising reaches a wide audience with high impact video ads. Radio advertising. Tap into the power of audio to connect with your audience on the go. Print advertising. Leverage the credibility and longevity of print media. Outdoor advertising. Catch the attention of your audience in high traffic locations. Optimizing your advertising campaign. Test and iterate. Continuously experiment with the different ad formats, messaging, and targeting to improve performance. 2, leverage analysis. Set key metrics like impressions, clicks, and conversations to make data-driven decisions. Adjust and refine. Adapt your advertising strategy based on the insights gained from campaign data. Measuring and analyzing your advertising effectiveness. Metric. Impressions. The number of times your ad is played. Measures the reach and exposure. Click-through rate, or CTR. The percentage of impressions that result in a click. Importance of that indicates ad engagement and interest. Conversion rate. The percentage of clicks that result in a desired action. Importance of that measures the ad's effectiveness in driving business goals. Move this. Put this up top. Driving business goals. Returns on ROS, or return on ad spend. The revenue generated for every dollar spent on the advertising. And the importance of that evaluates the overall profitability of your advertising efforts. And I'll slide. Leveraging mainstream advertising for business growth. Increase brand visibility. Mainstream advertising helps boost your brand's presence and recognition among a wide audience. Targeted lead generation. Tailored advertising campaigns can attract high-quality leads and potential customers to your business. Measurable results. By tracking and analyzing key advertising metrics, you can optimize your campaigns for maximum impact. All right, so we'll go back to the beginning. All right. All right, so now the floor is open to Rush. All right, so based on the information we've presented here, give us some of your insight on some of the things here that you agree with, might not agree with as much, and anything else that you think could help our current audience.
Actually, Alan, if you don't mind, I have a direct question that I think will be beneficial for those
Sure.
viewing. Let me see. Right here, you have traditional channels, right? You say television, radio, and print, but I want to focus more on television and radio.
All
Rush,
right,
this
sure.
question is for you. What do you say to people, or what advice do you give to them who are small business owners, and everything they do is by word of mouth, very old fashioned? They may print a business card here or there, they may have a flyer here or there.
Business
What do you
cards.
say to them on how they can navigate into something like TV and radio? Like, how
All
would
right.
they go about doing that, and what direction would they take?
Well, you guys are hearing me, right? Everybody hearing me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I'll get into that, and I want you to stick up in and remember that question. But I think there's a little bit of background before that. If that's
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
Sure.
that's fine.
well,
Cool.
well,
Sure.
first,
Right.
the thing about
Right.
this, most people when they think about Rush and advertising, they're like, "What's an advertising?" I mean, I don't know if everybody here lives in Jamaica or if everybody here is Jamaican, but I think the average person would know me as the music guy, the guy on the radio, scratching and playing sound effects and stuff like that. So, but the average person that doesn't know Yeah, that's the same Rush. That's me. But I ended up in ads because of that, right? So let me give you a quick background as to why you should even listen to me. Because okay, yeah. I mean, everybody would expect to hear about me when it comes to music and DJing and parties, but what happened was that being on the radio, someone that was in ads, a very, very, very top key person in ads heard my voice and thought that I would be very good to use my voice in an ad. It was a digital ad. And I was like, yeah, whatever, cool, whatever. I didn't think much about it, but the thing about it is that I'm also a student engineer. So I'm always in the studio, I'm always producing songs, I'm always engineering and mixing and mastering and making other people's songs sound ready for the radio. So what had happened was when I had given my voice to the agency to produce the ad, when I heard the final product, I thought I could have done a better job. I was like, say I could have made that ad sound a little better because I'm a studio engineer. So that was my introduction into the ad world. My favorite, my Don, my motivational speaker is a guy called Charlie Munger. He died last year at 99. He's a business partner of Warren Buffett. And he has an expression that says, fish where the fish are. No, why for fish? But fish where the fish are, because when I look at the amount of work, say for example, people always say you need to work hard to make it in life. You put in the work and you'll get success. That's not true. Because I don't think I work as hard as my gardener. Not there. And I don't work as hard as some of them taxi drivers that I used to have 3 taxis on the road. And
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, them
man.
work. I couldn't do the work them though. They go on the road from morning, they're fighting and running from police all day. I'm not doing that. But when I realized the effort for reward that I got in terms of financial reward from doing ads, I got seriously interested. So I would say for the last, it's been about maybe 7, 8 years now, I've been doing as much ad work as I have been doing any other kind of work, whether it's music or whatever, but I don't really put it to the forefront. So that is me and how I've been in how I got introduced and the work I've been in advertising. Second to that now, that since then, like I've worked with the who's who of the advertising game. So if you've listened to radio, there's a high chance that if you listen to a 30-second ad, a block between, a 30-second ad block on the half hour, on the hour, there's a heavy chance you're gonna hear something that I've worked on. So all of the Digicel ads for years, I've been a part of them, not just my voice. Duracell, Sportsmax, Wendy's, Sunshine Snacks, Tracks on Records, enough Tracks on Records. There's so many brands that I've been a part of. So that's me in ads. Okay, now moving on. Now listen to what you guys had to say a while ago. When I started my sound system in 2001 with my brethren Master Lee, as far as I'm concerned, when we got into Stride, we were the most talented ever, but we weren't getting all of the biggest parties. Now, you can have the best product and you can deliver and be extremely talented and very good at what you do, but there is something to say about how you market yourself. So if you look, for example, even if you look on what's the name of the psychologist that has a show on TV? Dr. Phil. I very much doubt that Dr. Phil is the best psychiatrist in the world. But he's marketing himself the best. He's on TV and nobody can talk to him. So for have the greatest product that nobody don't know about is a fail. And I've lived that. You have to market yourself. So, that's the bucket, that's the whole essence of why this is important. You see me? So when the good thing about me, I think, in entering into the ad world, and I would say this probably about many DJs and many performers, is that you learn to, as we as selectors say, get a forward. You only have a few seconds before the buckle lick you in your face. Meaning you only have a few seconds before people start boo you or lose the attention and the momentum. You have to catch people's attention. And I think that's what made me a good advertising person, because I think about most of the ads that I hear nowadays, and I think they're horrible. Like, what made me interested in getting in the ad game was not because I wanted to be like everybody else, but I wanted to do better ads than what I hear on average. Because I mean, the 90% of the ads I hear right now are, well, you can win if you. That's advertising right now, especially in the Caribbean. Not necessarily in the States, because I think the States gets it a lot better, but in Jamaica and in the Caribbean is, you can win if you. Now, how many people that are on this live right now have ever won anything? A, or B, think that you're going to win when you hear someone that says, do this and you're going to win. That's not the reason why you're doing it. And I don't think it works. So
in the Caribbean, if you hear that, you just think you get chopped.
yeah, you're going to get chopped. You're going to get chopped. It's like, all right, whatever. You just, whatever. Them going to give it to them friend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is what,
I'm not going. Scam that.
Which is why I really like Digital Shake to Win. Which I was anything you heard that was Digital Shake to Win. 90% of the technical work, not the creation of the concept, but the technical work, the radio ads, the beats, that was me. And why I liked it was because you got a live feedback from the audience. So you didn't feel like you're being tricked. It's like, if you know some Miss May from down the road or this random person pick up them phone and answer, it not only made it exciting, but you could feel like, all right, you can win. So I like that campaign. That's definitely one of my favorite local Jamaican campaigns. The next thing I'm going to say is, right. So I said why you need ads, but what people also need to realize is that nowadays, due to social media, everybody, including mine, because as I said earlier, to you guys before we came live, I'm studying now. I'm recertifying myself in cybersecurity, and it's very difficult for me to sit still and read a book for half an hour. Social media has destroyed my brain. It's like the dopamine constant hits. It's like I'm reaching for my phone after like 5 seconds. And I think this is even worse for the average person. So you have to remember that when you're doing advertising, which is absolutely necessary, you have to remember that you don't have forever. You got, they say that it's 8 seconds. People give you attention for 8 seconds, and I believe it's less than that. I believe you probably have about 3 seconds max that if you don't catch somebody's attention, they're swiping them on to the next ad, them changing the radio station, them turning on the volume, them doing something else. So whenever you gotta think connect, right? So bearing in mind people's extremely short attention span. Now, one thing I do like nowadays, which never existed, is that it's a good and bad with social media. So social media ads are, to me, the future. The way to go. Like, I mean, I'm on the radio. Big up the radio. If you want to advertise, hit me up. We can get you can get your ad on Zip. But at the end of the day, the real key right now, as far as I'm concerned, is social media. And a lot of people, I think, if you're a business person right now, locked in right now, or you're into marketing, the big deal is TV. When you see an ad on TV or you see an ad on radio, you think, "Oh, I've made it. I got the big ad," and that's true. But one thing about radio is that radio or TV is not very targeted, especially TV. Radio, you might have a demographic like Zip is very young people, but for TV, it's almost everybody. So you're gonna spend to get that wide audience, but is that necessarily the audience you want? I don't know. I like social media because it's super cheap, and look around you. Like, how many people actually have a TV on or even own a TV in them house and watch local TV, as opposed to having a phone in them hand? That's everybody. So I always encourage people, like, yo, if you're gonna do an ad, aim for social media. Social media is it. Now, yes, you have a quick chance somebody swiping past you, and yes, you're competing with 10,000 other pages and influencers, but social media is where it's at. And this is coming from somebody that's on the radio. And I will not discount that there is something for radio, because radio establishes or even TV, it establishes your brand as big. When you look and you see the TV ad, you just know, yeah, man, KFC, you see Burger King, that's
almost reputable, yeah.
Right, yes. It gives you a reputation, but I mean, the amount of money you spend to produce that I mean, it's dying.
Doesn't translate back, yeah.
No, it doesn't translate back. And this is coming from someone that is also a part of sales. I do sales. So, I walk into people and I say, hey, would you guys like to advertise on Zip? I'm a hustler. And I get it. I get it. When I'm trying to sell, I understand that, yes, there is something to read it, but social media is where it's at. If you are thinking about advertising for your business, right, I want you to think about yourself. Now, I think a lot of people don't advertise because they think it's more difficult than it actually is. They think, whoa, this big thing, how am I going to do this monstrosity?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You're true. They do think about it.
Yeah, man, it sounds
Yes.
like this huge old thing and how, boy, I must get cameraman and, yeah, a script and a singer. But maybe because I'm in the game long, I don't find it as difficult as everybody else. But at the end of the day, you just got to think about your
Yeah.
audience.
The fish.
Well, the term "fish where the fish is." Now, I want to explain that term because that term I use a lot since I've heard it, and I've only maybe about
Okay.
the expression really means, yeah, it really means effort for reward. Meaning, you could be the best fisherman ever. You have the most expensive rod, you have the best fishing line with the best bait and the technique where you learn over a 15-year career, and you throw this thing into the water. If no fish in the water, you're not
Can
going to anything.
nothing.
Right. But you're the worst fisherman. You're on a raft, you don't have no big fishing boat, you don't have no good nothing. You just have a piece of string with a little piece of food on the end of it, and you're just dropping it in the water. If the water is
That's
loaded,
right.
if the water is loaded with fish, you're going to catch something. So that's why you find even the most unskilled financial advisors and the most unskilled bankers and investment bankers are rich. They might not be worth 100 million, but they're worth at least 3 because of
Yep.
fishing. That is where the fish are. And that is why I leaned into advertising, because I'm like, man, I can make a lot of money doing this and I'm good at it, as opposed to the amount of effort it would take me to make that money doing other things. So that's why I said fish. You understand? But again, once you're doing advertising, and take it from me, I have done, if you listen to the Bounty ad on Digital Brata, that was me. I produced the beat. I came up with piece of the little concept. If you listen to the Ching Ching Digital Summer Campaign, that was me. If you listen to Sunshine Snacks, Win with Sunshine, I produced the beat. I wrote the ad. I sing it. I do all of these things. Right. So all of that is me. And some of the times you actually hear me DJing in the same commercials. So some of the DJ voices is actually me. Win with Sunshine Snacks for the Christmas, got the cashews, donuts, and so
Oh, that's not Win Marshall. All right.
that was me. Is it me? Because I actually DJed it and I didn't want to get nobody else because I thought my part was good enough as it is, and they loved it. In fact, that ad was requested for Sunshine Snacks Caribbean brand because they loved it. That you understand? But the point of the matter is, what I'm getting at is that you got to think about your audience in an uncomplicated way. Think about you. You know your audience pretty well. You know your product. You know who you're trying to reach. Who walks into your business? Who calls for business with you? If you had 3 seconds to capture them before they turn down the radio in the car or driving, what would you say? Sometimes I hear ads and have this. The punchline is way down in the middle. Think immediate connect, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be extremely simple. Hey, you with the thing in your hand. Think punchline. You understand? And you have a very good chance of reaching your audience. Which you know your audience. Don't think outside of, oh my gosh, I need to get this complicated thing to make it sound like, no. How would someone reach you in 5 seconds, max, while you're driving? It's commercial time for you to tune out. Or you're on YouTube. Before you press skip on YouTube, what does that first 4 seconds have to be for your audience? And you're already 90% of the way towards doing an ad. Bearing in mind that your ad has to only be 30 seconds. So sometimes people think it's long, complicated. You have 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So get to the point, right? So you got to make it memorable. You got to make it quick, and you got to remember that people buy off of emotion, not common sense, which I heard in the intro. Nobody's thinking. A lot of times, one of the main problems I hear with people when they do ads is that they try to kill you with every single detail of what's going on in them thing. You know, buy this now with this, and if you buy it between the hours, you're gonna get this at this. No, that's not the purpose.
No.
That's not the purpose of when you do advertising. The purpose of the ad is to associate yourself, make people think your brand is cool, and make people feel like they associate with you. They can relate to you. So if you're an insurance company, you might want to make your ad sound safe. At the end of the day, you don't want to spit information in your ad. The ad is not about spit information. Your ad is to grab people's attention, make them feel like they're with you, which might be cool. Just like Geico ads make you laugh. Geico ads have nothing to do with insurance or the
Nothing.
cap. Nothing.
The
But when you
literally are
listen,
just
Not
funny.
but you connect to that,
progressive at catch up.
you remember it. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
The problem with Jamaica, especially, or the world, one day in the Caribbean, and even on internet, is that they try to stuff too much information in it. There has to be a catch to it where you send people to where they can get the information. Send them to your website, or send them to here or there. I never recommend people to put phone numbers in ads because I've never remembered a phone number. You know, you might catch the first part and then you'll never forget it unless you repeat it 7 times. And you hear that in a lot of New York ads. Call us 55555. Da 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 da. That's 55555. Da 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 da. Again 555. So by the fourth time you hear it, you can say, "Oh, Jesus Christ," and you remember it. But I always just try to throw people to something quickly at the end that they can remember quickly, like an Instagram page or an email address or something like that, or they'll find you. If you gotta have a page that, I mean, if your brand is KFC, why would your brand not be KFC on Instagram? You know, so somebody wants to find you, they should be able to find you if you establish your brand properly. But the
Them
purpose,
brand not them
the
brand of
purpose,
their name.
exactly. The purpose of the ad
Yeah.
is really what the internet is. The purpose of the ad is to get people's attention, quickly entertain them, and establish the vibe of your company. You're selling clothes, you want to make the ad make you're cool and make the girl that's going to buy you the dress feel hot and sexy and whatever. But it's to establish them, you fit their brand. They can say, "Oh, this company gets me, you know, let me go check them out." Not like, "Oh, we're having a sale on a pink that you know. And lastly, if you're thinking about advertising, just think progress over perfection, as my Virgin Lee would say. Don't overthink the quality. Just get your message out. You know what I'm saying? Just get your message out and try to make it entertaining. Elon Musk said that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. And we can all know that when you go on Instagram, when you're hearing the scandals or you're hearing like this artist, this and that artist, or this somebody has a wardrobe malfunction or whatever, it's way more interesting. The most entertaining outcome is the most likely. So your ad doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be entertaining and engaging. You understand? Don't think you need the best lighting, you need the best camera, you need the best. It don't matter. You can get that in the future. You can improve. You will improve. But just start and at least make sure your concept is concept. Make sure your concept is grabbing. It's not informative. It's not too overloaded with stuff. And then you're 90% there. Last thing I'll say is that because I'm an engineer, I'm very particular about quality, right? And there is something, as much as I say don't overthink the quality, there's something about quality that when I'm listening to the ads, if your thing sound good, or just like a song, if you have a poorly put together song, you might be the greatest lyrics, the greatest everything. It's not going to resonate as well. So if it comes to the last part, you might want to reach out to someone like me and say, "All right, I have a good concept, I have everything put together, let's make it sound professional. So, you know, if you're doing advertising and you've done the hard work and you have your concept and stuff, you can reach out to someone that is a professional and you can get assistance. So we can definitely help. You can reach out to me personally. I'm here to help, or you can reach out to Ryan and his team and we can figure it out.
Thank you. Rush, we have a question for you though. Alright, watch this. For the people them who not familiar with social media, and because we have a lot of old school entrepreneurs out there who just don't know nothing about social media, them not have no young people around them and stuff like that. What you would have said for them people that who want to advertise their business now? Because you have some people on the podcast now who join who do them business outside of them house, and they want to get word out there. Say, this is what I do and this is the kind of services I offer. What you would have said to them people that who don't know the first thing about creating ads and stuff like that?
Well, I will say this. You have two choices. You're either gonna just pay a professional to do everything for you. You can do that. You can check Rush and say, hey, I have a concept. Let's do this. That's not a problem. However, I'm gonna go further than that. I'm gonna say that the world will never, right? It's never gonna be a day when people are gonna be like, yo, forget about social media, or yo, we're going back to the days of just newspaper. The things that have happened are change, and they've come into place because they are progress. Social media is progress. It is something that is helpful. The internet is helpful, and these things are not going to go away. And what's going to happen next is a build up on top of what we have now. Meaning, what comes next is not going to forget about Instagram and TikTok and social media and Facebook and then move on to something brand new and discard this. It's going to be another layer on top of where we are right now. So, for the people that are not engaged with social media and don't know how to get an ad going, the first thing you got to do is get on social media. It's not difficult. Like it's either you're gonna get left behind or you're gonna get with the times. I mean, social media is not something I can say, boy, it's technical and you really need to. It's very easy. And I would encourage people that before you even think advertising on social media, just get familiar with the platform. Just install it. Ask your daughter, your neighbor, your cousin, your little whatever, to show you how it works. And take a day or four and play with it. Once you play with it, you'll understand how it works. You understand why people like it, why people use it, and then your brain is automatically gonna start saying, all right, how can I use this to my benefit? So for the people out there again that are not using it and are not unfamiliar with how to use it, just play with it. It's not difficult. Or spend a bag of money. I'm right here. Give it to me, I'll do it.
All right, so when I talk about spend a bag of money, all right, me a small business owner, I want to go up on radio, how much money we I talk? Just a figure, just show something out there. Let me see, I have a question.
Well, there's two parts to that. The first part would be there's a cost to produce the ad, and then there's a cost to actually get it played on the radio. Since the pandemic, I can speak directly about Zip FM in terms of the cost. Now they have amazing packages right now that are extremely affordable. Now these prices change every day, so I don't want to quote your figure, but there are prices that they put in, and I think many radio stations did during the pandemic. Basically, encourage people for advertise because they must say, boy, everything's slow up in pandemic, and everybody's like, we need to get the business, and some of these packages are still there. So, it depends on the volume of ads and all of that, but you can go in there with. You can go in there with a couple $100 US, and then I take a whole heap of 100, and you can get your thing on the radio. No,
Okay.
I don't want to say, $100, but you can get radio ads on Zip FM, which is our top radio station, for 100 US, which is a 15 grand Jamaican, which is not. Now you're gonna get ads, not too many, but you can. If you spend 30 Jamaican, which is a $200, you can get something going. That's just for the airing. In terms of the production of the ad, well, again, you have two choices. It depends on who does it. You're gonna have some cheap people, and you're gonna have more expensive people. Or if you even talk social media and you can't afford anything, again, think about your audience. Take your phone and get creative. Your little iPhone or your little Android has a very good camera. You shoot something for 15, 20 seconds that's absolutely entertaining and fun. Everybody in Jamaica is a social media is a creator, a content creator. Everybody's a comedian.
Content creator.
Yeah, man. You don't have to think, well, what is the technical, how am I going to make my thing sound professional? It's not about that. It's how do I reach my audience? What can I
Yep.
do on this? You can figure it out, man. It is not difficult. You just use your phone and you go and you do something and you go boom and you shoot something that is absolutely engaging in whatever way it is and you put it on social media and it will be better than nothing. You spend $10 US, 2,000 Jamaican dollars on a little campaign on Instagram. You have done better than 90% of the people because at least you have an ad.
Leighton, I see you had your hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you're hearing me first and foremost. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Cool.
can
So
hear you.
Rush. We'll talk about mainstream media and we'll talk about TV, radio, social media. So if you have a business, or let me put it more general, um, any particular business you'd say more suited to a particular media format. So say, for example, I have a clothing store, let's say it's more ideal to put it on social media than TV or etc. along that line. Do you think there'd be any boxing in for those types of business?
To me, the definite advantage you get like of doing something visual like a TV or a social media is that they can see the product.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a man that I'm addicted to buying the little the things that when I see on Instagram, those
Mm.
those clothes.
Yeah.
I remember one time I
Yeah,
said, boy, this look like a stamp to me, you know. Boy, where would I find this jacket otherwise? Cause he's a very particular shopper. I want some cool
What
stuff.
they call it wish. Yeah.
The what?
Oh, Wish was not good. Wish was not good.
But at the end of the day, that same ad that me on Instagram
Yo, but wish.
never caught the radio. You can see. So if you want something visual and you're advertising something that you need to see, obviously you're gonna want more on TV or social media. And then also you have to just remember the demographics. So right now, if you're thinking about TV and radio, who is actually listening to TV and radio?
Yeah.
What over the age of 30 odd up? And then different stations have different demographics. So if you're talking Zip now, you're getting the younger end of that. If you're talking IRA FM and now certain TV stations, you're getting a more older general audience, a bigger people. So if you're trying to reach kids or you're trying to reach a certain trendy kind of, well, you have to remember the demographics of where your audience is. Where are they tuned into? Do they need to hear something? Do they need to see something? And you just take a pick. Say, all right, you know what? We need to show off the chain that I'm designing or this clothing thing. Well, Instagram is it. Quick and fast, simple and cheap, according to your budget. Boom, I can show my product. Bam, gone.
Yeah. Another quick question. I tend to find jingles, like little jingles, very easy to remember, like it catch your attention. So say for example, I don't know, back in the day from America, me know the JPS number because of the one jingle where them did have. Then they have this jingle where they repeat them number over. I don't know if that number still work, but remember I could dial it right now. So what my question is now, what would you say to people who want to catch their attention with something like that? Would you say it's best to outsource someone to do it for them, or would it be better to try and work around yourself? If you want to cut costs, try work on it yourself. You advise them to go down the road and try work on it themselves or get a professional to do it for them as a man of quality.
Well, all right. For me personally, there are a couple ways to approach it. Now, the way I usually do it, I usually do it one and two ways. One, I either teach something All right. The main thing you have to remember that melody and repetition is what wins. Period.
Hear that?
Melody and repetition. So melody supersedes lyrics. So if you were to think of, for example, just music, the biggest songs you don't care about the words. Everybody love Afrobeat and don't know one thing them saying.
Facts.
Yeah.
You don't know what the song is about. The song could have talk about kill junker and eat dog. You don't know, but the melody hold you. Or look at this big song, yeah, by
Burna Boy.
Right.
It's king. So if you're gonna write a jingle, don't start with the words. Don't start with you can come by. Think of a melody that's catchy. Them say if you can't hum it, if you can't whistle it, it's not a hit song. And the same goes for an ad. You have to be able to whistle it with a very, very simple melody. Melody is king. That's the first thing. The second thing is repetition, as I said. So the reason why you remember that JPS ad is because I'm going to repeat it over. In 1 30-second ad, you're going to hear that little part over. I remember the ad, I can't remember the number, but there are many ads like that. Them in your head, and it's so catchy. So it's
The
catchy.
Gas Pro ad is one such ad.
Yeah, the
Huh?
gas pro.
Gas Pro, Gas Pro. Yeah.
There's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. Big deal by KFC. There's so many ways. So a lot of the times too, as matter if I can't come up with something, I steal it. So I have an ad that I did with Sunshine, for example, where I said, "Win with sunshine," which is obviously.
Oh, we catch it already. We just get it. We just get it.
So I took that, and then I had another one went, you're always winning. Dun, dun, dun. And said, I got a feeling. Everybody know this. I'm trying to convey excitement. What is the most exciting song I could think of? And I was like, well, as a startup, if I want to guarantee, I thought it's like I got a feeling. I'm like, so I played it, the songs, and I played it. Ding, ding. But to not get through, I changed it. I didn't go ding, ding. I went ding, 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 ding. I changed it just enough, and then I stole them just the beginning. So if you can't, so that's what I would do. But I'm not going to say everybody can do that. So if you would like to get assistance with that, not wrong with that either, because maybe that just ain't you. But I'm sure that if I can do it, somebody else could do it. You know, and you'll know when you come up with something and it work. You be like, I play it for your friend or your woman or your mommy or your neighbor, and then will be like, yo, that no good. Then all right, probably, but that's not it. But if you were to play something, one of these KFC ads or one of these ads that actually work, you'll know. Especially if by the next day you can't, you walk, you hear your kids running by and they're, that's sometimes what I do. Like I'm in my studio and I'd have my daughter in the room working. And then when I'm taking a break, if I'm hearing her singing it or singing the song I'm engineering, is a hit song. If my daughter, if a 5-year-old can like it, you win. So
you said it's something connect. But I have a question. More on the simpler side. You know, Rush, just I imagine you have worked with tons of people. And because we have some amount of business people on the session, you know, I want to ask, what are some of the common mistakes that you see people making when they're just trying to enter this advertising thing? So them just try running upon the thing now, them think it's a good idea, they're finally convinced. What are some of the common mistakes that you see people make?
I would think the biggest mistake are they're trying to stick. They got 30 seconds, they spend a lot of money that they don't have to spend because time's hard, but they say, you know what? We're never gonna grow unless we advertise. They find money you don't have to push out this advertising campaign. And you're saying, you know what, if I got 30 seconds, I'm gonna tell them every single thing, and it's information overload. As opposed to saying, they must spend a lot.
Yo, Russia, what is You say come give me you left out all the part when me tell you so you have bug juice around in there. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Bigger
yeah.
companies, a lot of bigger companies that have legal documents. So they have an ad campaign, and then you're gonna find that there's a legality to it. So them have to end it with 18 years and older drink responsibly. Then there's gonna be a part where they have to mention the blah 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 blah. And then there's 5 departments, and each department is involved in the campaign, and they're gonna want this one is gonna want the tag, and this one is gonna want a throw to the it is always the main thing I see wrong information overload. I always tell people go listen back to a Geico ad. Go listen to a Dell ad. Dude, you got a Dell. It's the simplest thing. And look at who are the biggest companies. Stop trying to kill people with information. I would think that's the main problem I have. That and then boring. You're trying to think, I think people are trying to think too professional. You know, well, technically it's supposed to be like this, and this is the kind of voice we need to use, and forget about that. Just think, kind of 5 seconds, get to the point, throw something out there, make it interesting. So I guess that would be my advice. Don't overthink it. Don't think you can do it. Keep it simple, and don't try to kill them with information.
And something to piggyback off our said when you finish.
Your phone break up right on there.
Man, you guys hearing me?
Yeah, hearing you know.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, this is what I always say. For people who want to do advertising, the people them who were advertised, so sometimes them not even get way. They not even understand what I try to tell them. Make it plain as there, simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. That's what you want to, so the people them out there, can understand what them I say. Make it as simple as possible. Because the people them who we attract, some of them people now will be able to understand the ads and understand what we're saying. So, as what Russ said, make it simple like Geico ads. So, I mean, I agree 100%. I don't know.
All right, I got a question. All right, so me have a question. All right, so Rush. So that means that all right, so say, all right, so me have a small business, me have like 5 different services. Right. Now you say information overload is an issue when it comes to ads. So that means that we can't list all 5 services in the same ad. So what do I do from there? How do I go about it?
I mean, think about it. KFC is not advertising them barbecue chicken, them fish sandwich, them cream, them this, them that, them thing in a one ad. So you might want to focus on one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that might be one approach. Another approach might be to just think of getting people to your website or to call you, where you can then talk about your products. So the ad itself isn't actually, as I said before, is not to really divulge all information. Your ad is to make people think your brand is cool. Make people think I'm this is my product. I can get these people get me. So your ad can be just something to catch their attention and then drag them back to where the information is. So you have 5 different products. The ad is really about brand awareness then. So I'm here. Hey guys, I'm cool. I exist. You might not know there's a store here doing this, or you might not know this product is even in Jamaica or Trinidad or Guyana, but we are here and we're cool and we do this. You want to know more? Come check us out at the website, come to the Facebook page, come to the Instagram page, call me. So rather than, hey guys, nobody's going to remember.
All right. Oh, so the floor is open for persons who have questions. If anybody else has questions for Act Rush, you can go ahead and ask. All right, go ahead.
No. All right. I was gonna say in ads and people one thing when Russ saying teach something out ad, but nobody got teach the people them advertisement and put it over on phone thing. Here is a method to it. So, that's what I said. But
Yeah,
in
it's
all
more like
seriousness though,
inspiration.
when it comes to what?
I was saying it's more like inspiration.
Yep, it's more like inspiration. Yeah. So when you guys advertising, as I always say, where you spend on it like KFC, I always say advertise like KFC, them always have something running, them always have something going. And when you advertise, always remember to give a deal, not just to advertise your company, because people don't care about your company and where you advertise and care about where you give to them. So if they not get something, the advertisement not make sense. So don't just go throw ads out there not giving away something. The like look on KFC and them always I give away something. Is either them I give a discount or them I give a big deal or them I do this or do that. But always remember, you put in your ads, always give away something. And it's very important. There's a lot of small business in Jamaica, but only the corporate company them make a lot of money because only the corporate company advertise. Like I always say, KFC make more money than the jerk man on the roadside. People drive past the jerk man for go buy KFC. And we all could agree say sometimes most jerk chicken tastes better than KFC. But we drive past it just for go buy KFC because we see KFC ads a lot. And if we think chicken, the only thing we can think about is KFC. So advertisement is very important for us to do. So yeah. So anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask. You can drop it in the chat. Yeah. Yes, may I have one more question for anybody that asks anything? All right. So as a small business, that Jamaica, me on the side, me not feel like, me have the reputation or let's say me not have the courage to come to you and say, all right, me have one small shop on the side, who am I to contact the Virginia where I do all of them big ads and this and that. What you would say to them people that who have the high self-esteem or have low self-esteem for really afraid for contact you for say, all right, let me contact him, see what he more tell me. I feel like say they can afford to talk to you. But you say to them people there. Because I think we have a lot of them people there, especially in Jamaica and mostly small business people who think say, they just have a small business and that is it. They can't really contact you because you're not gonna really give them the time of day, for talk with them. So what you say to them people?
I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, I'm a firm believer. I've never failed at anything that I've ever done, personally, musically, any other way. And I believe that the world work with winners. You see me? Now, if you believe, say, you're going to be a failure and you don't have this big courage, I don't even know how to speak to that kind of person. Honestly, you know what I mean? I could tell you the nice answer, but like, no, man, come link me, man. But that's all nice and fluff, man. Listen, if you feel like you want to make it in, especially in a harsh world like business is rough, You can't ever come out of your shell, man. And I feel a lot of business owners themselves aren't the type of person that you're thinking of because it takes courage to go stand and say, you know what, I'm going to open a business. And it's like keeping a party. Your reputation
You
at the same
do.
time, nobody comes to your party. It's not just your financial loss. It's like an emotional hurt, like nobody likes me, you know? And if people don't come into your business place as a business owner, I've had brick and mortar business. I had a 9-year business I ran in Ligonier. And your business is like your kid. You know what I mean? It's like a child. When you lose your business, it hurts. So I think the average person that has the confidence to open a business and go and say, yo, come buy from me, I am here. I think they have advertised. I think they have copied. I think they're already past that stage of basic fear, to be honest. And they shouldn't have a problem approaching me. I'm very approachable. What you hear on radio, what you hear here stuff, what is me. So if you have the courage to approach me, then I don't think I can save your business. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we all have to look on our outcome. And we have to reverse engineer the outcome from where we are. Okay, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I want to weigh 30 pounds less in 2 years. Then what do? You have to reverse engineer it to where you are today. All right, that means I need to lose 4 pounds a month, 2 years, or whatever the math is, right? And just do it. So if you think your business is suffering from a lack of advertising and you need advertising, then you have two choices. You make the business fail or you get it done.
Another question for Rush. Affiliation. How important do you think affiliation is to business, especially small business? How important do you think that is?
Your phone chip out. Say it again, Ryan.
Affiliation. How important do you think affiliation is to small business, people to connect and be affiliated with other business and even with what you call them people what you call them people online?
You mean
Influencers.
influencers?
Man, influencers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think those all of that have any effect on your business growth?
definitely. I mean, we've had this discussion of on other topics, but is the easiest way for an artist to bust is to do a collaboration because someone else's audience becomes your audience, and someone else's coolness, someone else's brand can rub off on yours. So if you're having a very difficult time reaching out to someone to an audience, well, reach out to someone that already has that audience you want. A, and then B, as I said, the purpose of as far as I'm concerned, is to make your brand seem cool and to seem approachable and to seem, yeah, this is my company. I like this company, which is where sometimes people like would buy a BMW. People not buying BMW because, well, technically the reliability of the BMW is, if you're a BMW person, you're a BMW person. You've associated with the brand as your brand. So you God go with you for somebody to try to get you by a Audi or a Benz because you're a BMW person. So really and truly, you can associate your brand with something that you think is an alignment with where your company is supposed to be. So, you know, BMW is this. You hitch up with a BMW, or if the young cool kids like a certain artist, well, cool. You get that artist to associate with your business. Now their coolness rubs off on you, and you bridge the gap. So instead of you trying to sell people on the coolness of your business and build your own audience, well, you find somebody that has the audience and the coolness you want, and you just jump the bridge. All of a sudden, you're there. They're their audience, and it rubs off directly on you. So it's very important.
Zine. I have a question. Around tracking the return on your investment, what properties or where should I look to say, okay, I made the right choice in paying Rush to do my ad for me and put it out there, whether it be on social media, radio, TV, what things can I look at, except for probably an increase in sale the next week, to say this worked and I need to pay more attention to this?
That's a broad question because,
Affiliation.
for example, I've done work for companies that they they advertise in a certain event. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult to say, boy, well, they put out flyers, they did the radio, they did this, they did that. You know, so there are things that people do on YouTube where you have a special link. You click this link, it's like click funneling. If you click this link, it will give you this discount or whatever. So that's a way to see where um the lead came from. So you might have a special link on when you call us, say the special code, and I know that came from the radio, or this came from TV. If I have a different thing into my business. There's a thing I did on Instagram, or a different influencers have a different code. If I can see which influencer is actually effective,
Right.
I know businesses that have just literally said they put into an advertising campaign, and they see how many times the phone rings. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing work right now with the hair loss clinic of Jamaica, and I can tell. I'll link the company and I'll be like, how many how has the traffic been? Because I've done some social media work, and I've gotten 30 messages today, and I've given them my number, and when they call, sometimes I ask the owner to say, where did you hear about us from? You can literally just ask. Where you guys, well, yeah, I was on Instagram and I saw the Instagram ad and the guy said to call and make an appointment with you guys. And you can kind of feel it out. In a different way.
So, all right, watch this. How about, all right, so, Rush, for a person like you who do ads and, me come to you and say, all right, Rush, what? Hook this up for me now, and where I pay this, and you say, yo, give me 120 grand, and I give you 20 grand, and the ads no work out. So the ads no work out. And now me I come back and blame you. Yo, Rush, say, you never do this right. This I did fool, that now work out for me, and this and that, you have to go redo it again. Who would you blame in that situation there? Would you say, what me for ask you is, that first question, who would you consider making mistake in that situation there? And one, do you write the ads, or we have to come to you with the ads right with the script?
Well, the thing about it is, it's just like if you go to Island Grill, you order chicken and the chicken come and you get the chicken order. That's the chicken you order upon the menu. You order the chicken and you get it. Whose fault is it if you don't have the chicken after you eat it? I mean, at the end of the day, I say that to say, basically, before the ad goes on the radio, before it is sent out, it's approved. Really and truly approve the ad, then there shouldn't be a after discussion, because you came to me with a concept. I do a concept, I give it to you, you like it, you approve it, and then we run with we pay for the radio ad, or we pay for the whatever campaign on Instagram or TV. So after that, the discussion would have to be, well, I didn't get the return I wanted on the ad. But it couldn't come back to me and say the job wasn't delivered. A, B, I've never done an ad ever in my entire life and had someone come to me and say, I don't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? What was the second thing you said a while ago?
Okay.
You said, what's the second part of what you questioned?
His second part was, do them have to come to you with the script, or you write the script?
Right. Well, no, it just depends. But, that is something that you pay for. So if you go to an advertising agency, one of the costs would be the talent. If you want a jingle as opposed to a talking ad, if you want 5 people in the ad as opposed to 2, if you want X, Y, Z, if you want a celebrity as opposed to a regular person. I have the script, you write the script. These are things that we can discuss. I do write scripts, but I'm not opposed to getting a script if my voice is the one. I'm a lot of the ads, especially in the beginning part of my career. I lost about 80% of the ads, 90%. I was given the script. Sometimes I source the talent, sometimes the talent is given to me. So I'd say, hey, Rush, I'm sending you over Miss Kitty, or I'm sending you ZJ Fox or XYZ, Jade. We're going to use your voice and their voice. What I would usually do when I got into it was I would sometimes get an ad as agencies began to trust me more. They'll be like, all right, here's the concept. And I'd be able to modify it to start. Sometimes somebody would have an idea of what they want and then say, boy, this is a gist tech. Can you make it better? Sometimes I'll get an ad and they'll give me the freedom to find who I want. And I'll be like, no, we know the perfect person for this ad. It might not even be me. Perfect male, the perfect female, I'd bring them in. There's no one way to paint a picture. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we want to reach your audience. And I might have a concept that you might improve on. Like, I might have a concept, but I said, bro, Ryan, here's my result. And you say, no, Rush. Make the beat into a soca beat. Let's make it to work with folks. And I love the concept.
Yeah.
And I said, why I never think about that? So, no starting point. It's like a back and forth. There's work I'm doing right now with someone that is trying to advertise there. It's a huge business in Jamaica. And they came to me with the punch. Amazing punch. I said, yo, that body. And then that gave me an idea. And then we throw that back to them and them love it. And then throw me back, I'm gonna come up with a rough sketch right there. Boom, me and him sitting down talking just like this. And then I would deliver back and they would say, all right, we love it, but bang, bang, bang. But I don't really get complaints personally. I had them work.
Okay.
I actually have a question to piggyback off of that one. I know we've been talking about how effective social media is in terms of it being like relevant, quick, entertaining. How effective is radio?
Um, it is very effective depending. So, for example, it depends on your audience, which radio station you're going to use, obviously. But if you were to be keeping Dream Weekend, if you were to be keeping a big old party like Good Times or Mellow Vibes or one of these parties,
Hmm.
having a radio ad is almost essential. There's certain brands that I believe it establishes the bigness of it. It establishes the fact that you're a concrete cornerstone business. You can't have a big brand that is. What's that?
With the affiliation with it, would I push the brand, right?
Exactly. So no, there's certain big brands that they want to keep a thing exclusive. So you're not gonna hear certain
Yeah.
there's certain little key little events and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when you hear something on the radio, it validates that as an established, mature, reputable brand. So there is something to it that's not just about getting written and just all people hearing your ad. You hear upon the ad upon the radio, big brand that. There's still that stigma associated to me with TV and radio.
It's
Big.
legit when it's on the radio.
Yeah, all right, then cool. That's not the corner store dude trying to rob you. That's
Hmm.
that. Boom.
Yep. Legitimate things. Yep. So yeah, I don't have any question before we go. All right. So one more question, Rush. Crap. All right, may I go past him? I remember it. I forgot the question, and it was a good one too. It was a good one too. I totally forget the question. It was a good question too. Man, what was it? But until me remember the question, I totally forget. All right, with music. All right, one of the things when I talk about on the podcast is party. Jamaica keep a whole party, and what you would have said about business people associate themselves with all the party. I think gonna have a party for every days of the week.
I mean, it depends on the. It
At
depends on the.
Jamaica, what would you say? Depends on the business.
Yeah, because there's certain businesses. Every party is a brand, and every brand might not associate with certain brands. So if your thing is a business, a doctor's office and a snooker party just don't work. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it depends. If you're selling a soft drink, maybe. If you're selling something that works with the event, possibly. But
You know, I mean,
yes, really, that's why it really depends, man. I mean,
I think
um,
that you know really, why you say it wouldn't work? A doctor office and a soccer party, me think a best place to advertisement. Yeah, 'cause
no,
people here why me think a best place is stick up. If me have a doctor office and I keep a soccer party, load me up. Cause guess what? It all too hard. It out of place. It's like you out of the matrix. Like, damn, why we advertise doctor office and one soccer party? People are gonna probably remember me. You know, say, you know, me did see that at the soccer event one night time and it ain't supposed to do that. So
but
me would have put my business there. So one
there's
of the
certain
things,
why I said that there's certain businesses that the seriousness of it matters, and
The
it
status almost.
right.
Yeah.
So if it's silly, you're not gonna put your health. All right, for example, you have a possible cancer, and you're looking for the best cancer treatment. You're not necessarily gonna go with the cancer treatment that you heard at Dream Weekends or the soca party at Mass Camp. It's gonna be like, no, that's not the person I want to put my life in their hands because it don't fit.
that.
So it really
Mm.
does depend on how do you
Okay.
want around your brand. It might not work that way. You might hurt your brand. It's like putting a gospel event on being advertised at a strip club. It don't work. and every two brands don't always align. You get what I'm getting at? You have to think about it.
Yeah, but don't we have gospel reggae?
Yeah, but not in a strip club. You know what I mean? It depends. There might be two brands that just don't work.
So, but look for my youth no do that one day, yeah. When remix Dove Magnum song as a gospel song.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to style it. I'm just saying that is you just have to be careful how you align your brand with, because you might end up
Yep,
and not all. You know, you don't want
agree. You might end up ruining it.
yeah. Yo, unmute man. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not okay. My check sir. My thing gonna break up. So all right, watch this. What me think about is if me think of business, me think of a business like an artist. We need an audience. And we need people to walk in and we need to take people money. No. All right. I think building a brand and building your business, I think you're supposed to do everywhere. You know, and there is ways you can implement your brand into certain things where you least expect it's supposed to do without hurting the brand. It's just how you go about doing it. And that's how me think about it. You know, because as a business, you want people know you.
Within limits. Within limits. You wouldn't advertise your
Mm-hmm.
dancehall on
All
or
right.
your dance brand on a Disney. You know what I mean? There are limits. But I get you. I understand what you're saying, but I still
No,
believe you
you
have to oh you associate yourself with.
I thought yourself. Yeah, but me say a lot of people not do that still. Like a lot of small business in Jamaica really not associate themselves with a lot of stuff. Mean probably them say dancehall too slack, but the way I look on it, I see them dancehall people I support your brand.
For sure.
So, you know, them same people who go party last night and them are dressed up going to the supermarket tomorrow. So why not associate over there so where the same people who are support you, let them see you and see say, yo, you are there. So, you know, they get more comfortable with you because the way I see it, the same people them that soccer party, the same people them who don't know where to find one good doctor. You know, and that's how I look upon it. So me think their business and where they can do is just again the association. But yeah, that's what me think when it comes. I could be wrong, you know, but me is a respect stuff. You know, what probably some for me and go try it, you know, but that's what me think as a business. Me look at it as an artist, like yeah, you need the audience, you need to grab them attention, whether you sing gospel music, like more I tell a gospel artist, market yourself in a dancer, you know, because a music and you want to reach people, you're supposed to speak the gospel anyway. So you're supposed to be in a dancehall party, you're supposed to be on the dancehall stage show, you know, but we not see that. You know, we not see nobody a book a gospel artist for a dancehall event or put a gospel artist on a dancehall event. But at the same time, you know, people not go there for that, but they might have one song where them like. But you see them dancehall people, them listen to gospel artists too.
You see, the thing with that, Brian, is you have to remember with the whole advertising thing, you have to somewhat, this might sound away, but in some way you have to play upon people's emotions. And if you try push that type of music to that audience, it might rub them the wrong way. And what you try to accomplish, it might just backfire upon you.
Exactly.
That's
Can back
what I'm thinking when you say that just now, because you trying to push that on them, no matter how you try to be creative with it, people, especially now, very sensitive to some messages. So, you know, you have to kind of careful with the whole and why you push. But understand what you say, and I know that you think way outside of the box, but you have to remember the average person not always I think outside of that box.
Yeah,
So yeah, when
we
you
are the box.
approach the gospel audience, I think even if it have a little reggae sound to it, you have to be careful how you spin it to them, because anything outlandish or outside,
Yeah,
way outside of what them
watch
used
it.
to, I go rub them the wrong way.
Look on it that way. Me would not go advertise to gospel people, because them are for them thing in our box. Yeah, them not have no open mind to nothing at all when you look on it. Most of them, and I say all of them.
I mean,
But me would rather fans. Dancehall fans have an open mind. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't have a Vibes Cartel today. Is it?
no, I
Is it me?
would
So
not say
dancehall
that.
fans have an open mind.
What the approach a cartel take was very unique, you know. And it never does happen, you know what?
Unique. It was
When
a
him just
risk.
jump out, you know,
A
a
big risk.
beer fight him get and burn out, you know. It's just that over time, like Russ said earlier, in melody and
And they
jingle
don't
it
like
in a
it.
people.
Them accept it.
Right, because the melody and jingle when you know them and the play when play with it over time, people start to accept it. Which let me say it was an
Eventually become a norm.
uphill battle for him, and if you want to go down that road, that's fine. I don't think most people would do that type of thing, but if you're looking for, how do I coin it? Let's say you want to see some sort of returns in like a year or two, I don't think that's a hill you want to go up. You get what I'm saying?
It might play. I don't know, but someone might try it one day. You know? Yeah, they can say, you know,
But Rush, you in the space. You ever seen anybody take one of them unorthodox approach to advertising?
I don't have a problem with unorthodoxy overall. I think unorthodoxy to go. You have to kind of step out of the box to be different. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I do believe Jamaicans suffer too much from unorthodoxy. There's a tried and true. In other words, look at that. Look at the dancehall music you guys mentioned. Dancehall music, 90s dancehall and early 2000s. That's what Afrobeat is. That's what reggaeton is. It works. We keep recreating the wheel. That little bit now, but don't forget the tried and true formula. There's a reason why some of these brands do what they're doing for 20, 30 years, because it works. Try a little thing here and there.
Then continue to do it.
Yeah, of course. So the reggaeton is one beat. I've traveled all around the world. I've been to not every, but I've been to too many Latin American countries. And it's one beat play, and it's millions and millions and millions of people playing this 190s dancehall beat. Or we are trying to get this creative thing, and all we need to do is do the original thing. So I think it's a combination of both still. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with creativity and stepping out and making your thing stand out, but don't forget the rules.
True.
Rush right though. Once you find something that work, cause even here in our state, ain't no dance I play in our state. If I do play in our state, like me at 97 come on now my car and them a play dancehall music, and I way back when them a play all dancehall music, they not play nothing new, cause nothing new I did for them play, cause all them young guys them do for them thing. I guess they create their own dancehall, and I didn't get that, but that not working in our state. Hence the reason why the dancehall space in our state's boring. Ain't nobody there on the space. Ain't nobody tell it. You know, but I mean, I be all dancehall music them play on the radio. No new dancehall. Maybe they can't understand what they say. Yeah, but if you find a formula will work, try find a space in it where you fit in and you do it. Same thing with business. You know, you find a loophole where your services can work and you fit in that loophole and move on.
Niche.
Yep.
Not
That's
loophole.
how I say it. Well, I said there's a loophole in everything. Like I remember there are certain people who have a gate, have a lock. Them them lock up the gate, say hard for you get in. Because yeah, if you get in, and once you find and go through, and there's no stopping you, they just either two things they can do. Either them buy you out or they join you. That's it.
True, true.
So I'm just going to open the floor one more time for anyone who's on YouTube or Zoom who would like to ask Rush a question. You can go ahead and unmute, or you can type it in the chat. If not, Ali, you know what time it is, right?
Yeah. All right. So
Right.
everybody who's here, really thank everybody for coming out on Wednesday. Kind of unusual flow of way, but much appreciated. Love the turnout. Kind of wish person did ask more questions still, but maybe you got your question answered at some point in time in the conversation, and that's cool. All right. So for persons who are new here, are coming for the first time, we have a weekly podcast every Sunday where we talk about topics of business and finance. So if you like today's session, you can definitely check it out. Check us out on Sundays at 3 p.m. Jamaican time or 4 US time. I don't remember what was it, Eastern Standard specifics, Pacific,
So US is on Eastern Daylight Time right now, and Jamaica's on Eastern Standard Time. So US is an hour ahead.
Also, before we leave, since there are no any other questions, Rush, any closing statements for us?
It's
Like,
like you say, just big up
wait.
everybody today. Thank you guys for inviting me. Big up to Ryan and the
You're
whole team.
welcome.
Nice to meet you guys. And
Thank you.
again, if anybody wants to reach out, you can either reach out to me directly, or you can reach out to Ryan and the team, and they'll connect you to me, and we can figure it out. Man, we're here to help
Brilliant.
people do big stuff. So, big up everybody.
All right.
Have a good evening.
All right. So before we cut off, just one quick thing. Rush, if you could leave us with one thing based on the entire conversation, what would it be?
One thing.
That's what?
You mean in regards to advertising?
Yes.
Well, I just think
Anything. Anything.
is progress over perfection, as my brother Lee always says. Progress over perfection, and some advertising is better than none. Don't overthink it, and just jump in. You'll learn it on the way. Everybody needs it. It's not just the big brand. Whatever you're doing, a little bit of marketing. If your budget is only $5, go $5 campaign. You never know. You must bet back your $5 into the business. So, something better than nothing.
All right. Much appreciated. All right. So if anybody who is interested in contacting us, you can email us at info@wealthbuildinginvest.com, or you can visit our website, wealthbuildinginvest.com, or you can call us and send us a text message at 973-858-8454. So, Ashley, our closing quote.
Hold on. Hold on, Ash. Hold on. I have something to say before we go. Remember, for those who are new to our channel, whether on YouTube and Zoom, big up to all of the people on YouTube. And our book of the month, Magic of Thinking Big. Still Magic of Thinking Big. For those of you who are reading it, and for those of you who are the first time hearing about it, check out Magic of Thinking Big. It's a book about your mindset, how the mind works. So check it out. It's a good read. That's the read for the month. Read it. Let me know. All right. Magic of Thinking Big. And Rush, thanks for pass you. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you coming and give us your time and your feedback. Sure, everybody appreciate the information too. And Ashley dropped the book in the chat. Magic of Thinking Big. Check it out. Thank you.
All right, for the quote I have from Stephen Butler, who was a writer, it reads, advertising may be described as the science of arresting the human intelligence long enough to get money from it. So it kind of ties in for me to what Rush said, right? We don't have those 30 seconds or those 10 seconds, just that short little space of 3, maybe 4 or 5 seconds to get the attention of the person who's looking at your ad. So just to keep that in mind when, trying to get advertising out there for your business.
All right, cool. All right, so thanks everybody again for coming out, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Rush, much appreciated.
Thank
Yes,
you. Thanks for
Well,
coming.
thank you, sir. Okay.
Right, so break up.
Yep.
Right now we're gonna go to what level.
Yeah. Yeah.